Hello everyone and welcome back! We are at another episode of Project Eden's Garden, and we are getting into the investigation. At the end of last episode, we had discovered Wolfgang's body. And I am excited to see whodunnit, but first, we must investigate. Let me do what I did last time and look back over the tablet first. The victim is Wolfgang Akir. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Akiri? The ultimate lawyer. He was discovered in the boiler room on the underground floor. He is kneeling in the water and his upper body is slumped over the concrete platform. Estimated time of death is approximately 9:35 a.m. It still pissed me off that seeing everyone except the cause of death, everything except the cause of death listed. I mean, that's how it goes, but I genuinely think the cause of death is electrocution. Because, you know, this is where the power generator is, he's in water, there's no physical, like, there's no blood, there doesn't seem to be any physical lacerations or anything like that, so I'm guessing electricity. Especially when I knew the reason why. The cause of death when we investigated the dummy's murder, the death tablet explicitly said she died from blood loss. But this tablet, it doesn't list Wolfgang's cause of death anywhere. Of course, saying otherwise would make things too easy. The tablet's information has been divulged in such a way that both the killer and the spot list have an equal chance of success. Yeah, makes sense. Tozu's definitely compensating for the killer, probably because they failed to hide their own tracks. And withdrawing information might be his way of balancing the odds. Bullshit rules. Who's to say they won't be abused? Well, they're kind of supposed to be abused. Regardless, Wolfgang's cause of death should be treated as the crux of this mystery. If I can figure out how he died, then everything else should fall into place. Oh, is that blood on the floor there? Right in front of us, like just like right below the text dialogue. Is that blood, or is that part of the? I think that's blood. Huh? Never mind. There is blood. Tozu tablets 2 has been added to the truth bullet section of your Tozu trinket. Alas, poor Wolfgang, the guiding light of ultimate students, snuffed out at an instant. No use crying over it though. There's a mystery to be solved. Like any true investigation, important evidence won't always be visible at first glance. Should you ever find yourself stuck, press F3 to view the game's controls. By the way, any truth bullets you obtain will be logged in your Tozu trinket, which can be accessed at any time by pressing F1. You know, in case you needed the reminder. That's all for me. Bye-bye. Yeah, that is blood. Okay. So someone is bleeding, but it doesn't look like his. I'm really curious about this blood now. There was blood speckled across the floor. I didn't notice it at first due to the room's restricted lighting, but now, after my eyes had time to adjust, it couldn't be more obvious.
I see.
It looks like it passes into the hallway, too. I'd completely missed these during the blackout. Speaking of, after the body discovery announcement, everyone barged into the boiler room through this door. Yet these blood spots don't look smudged. I'm guessing they were already dry by the time any of us got here, in which case, could this be Wolfgang's blood? Well, he just died. Like he just died. I doubt it if it was Wolfgang's blood. If he died at, well, no. That's not necessarily true. No, it could totally be Wolfgang's blood. I was gonna say if it was his, he died at 9:35, and it's like barely past 9:35. He like just died within the last like 10-15 minutes, I think. Meaning his blood would still be dry. I mean wet, but that's assuming the blood is directly. He bled out at the time of death or around the time of death, or caught that, which is not necessarily the case. Anyway, but I don't think this is his blood. Winona, what do you have to say?
Hello?
Winona, you're still here?
Seriously?
Is there a problem with that? Why does she need to frame everything I say in the worst light? I'm preparing to hold a one-on-one session with Ulysses. I was consulting him about something important before we were interrupted by the announcement. Is that what you were doing before the blackout?
Huh?
Repeat that?
It's simple.
The blackout. Were you still with Ulysses when it happened?
Come on.
You're not speaking any sense. There was no power outage. She can't be serious. That blackout affected the entire building, unless...
Anyways.
Let me rephrase. Where were you when the murder happened?
Sheesh.
Where were you? At Cassidy's game tournament in a dining hall.
Oh, really?
Really? Not what I expected.
Let me see.
Ulysses and I spent the morning by a large tree. We stayed there up to and including the time of Wolfgang's murder. Sounded like she had an alibi then. Well, that's assuming he died. Well, no. I was about to say that's assuming he died. Until he says his time of death is 9:35. That's an alibi. Got it. Unless it was a staged murder, which is really hard to pull off, but it's a possibility. As for the location she mentioned, I assumed this entire building complex connected to one generator, but it made more sense for that tree to have its own separate system, hence why I didn't lose power. What about the courtyard, though? Was anyone there at the time of the blackout? Blackout has been added to the truth bullet section of your Tozu trinket. Eva, how we doing? Aren't you going to investigate Wolfgang? Me?
Yeah.
Who else? Back when we mistook the dummy for a body, you poked it pretty much nonchalantly.
Hang on.
That's different. I never thought it was real.
I see.
Now that we're finally inventing in the investigation, her cool composure had all but vanished. Typical, I guess. She could only keep the act up for so long. Alright, Ulysses. Just want to confirm what Winona said. The generator over there is partly submerged in the water. I think it would be wise to stay on this platform. Was he worried about the water being electrified? I am. Eva and I managed to stand in it way back when. I don't see why now any would be any different. Then again, the generator wasn't damaged last time.
Damn.
Yeah, since Wolfgang is kneeling in the water, we should avoid touching him.
No.
You don't know for sure if the water is unsafe.
Huh?
Huh?
Listen to me.
Before you start making conclusions, you should experiment first. Saying that, Eva walked over to a pile of boxes and pulled out one light bulb. Oh, I see what you're doing. Sure enough, Eva went straight to the edge of the platform and threw the light bulb in the water.
Look.
See? It's not lighting up. That means the water is safe.
Well,
I see. Is that how that works? I mean, I guess. I'm going to take your word for it, video game. Then I suppose it's safe to inspect Wolfgang.
Okay.
Are you going to? I think I will observe from afar instead. Now isn't the time to be listening to your nerves. Alright. Jean. Oi, take a whiff the air. Ain't there something off about it? I followed his instructions and sniffed the air.
That's...
Smells like burnt rubber.
That ain't it.
Cause of busted generator, yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. There's another scent, a real bitter one. Might actually be onto something. It's almost like cereal and rubbing alcohol?
Bad news.
Indeed. I'm suspecting a mighty chemical reaction at work.
Eh?
I've had my fair share of travels across the sea, and I'm no stranger to foul play. There's no stench worse than one of a disastrous combustion.
It is how it is.
Thing is, I have no idea where it's coming from. Maybe the body? Really? The smell is supposedly one of chemical reaction. Where else could it be coming from besides the busted generator? Unless Shane's conclusions are about the smell is wrong. I wouldn't put it past him. Odd smell. Cereal and... Oh, I totally forgot what the other one was. You gonna just chill over there, Ulysses, again?
Hi.
Why did you move over here? It's a,
The struggle.
I feel it's highly important we investigate anything and everything we can. Good excuse, buddy. That is why I moved over here. It's to investigate. Well, like you didn't want to be near Wolfgang's body. I mean, can you blame him? In what was the first for the investigation, something other than a fear appeared on Ulysses' face. It was curiosity.
Eh?
What is it? Look at the floor in front of the door.
That's...
This. Yes?
Seriously?
Just a small piece of scrap metal.
Do you think?
Even so, it's still part of the crime scene, and it necessitates documentation. That's gonna be important. W to Ulysses, everyone. It's gonna come up, I'm telling you.
That's not important.
Seriously, something so small means nothing. It could have come from the generator or pipes above us. Ingrid could have been carrying it for all we know. This guy, there's so much he could actually document, and instead he's focusing on some flimsy piece of metal. All the more reason to rely on myself. Thin piece of metal. Maybe like a lockpick? That could have been used for? That would be my guess. Taser! Ah, a taser gun? Pretty random thing to be lying around the crime scene. It definitely wasn't in a boiler room prior to the murder either. Does that mean this taser gun was involved in the murder? I would assume so. On closer inspection, nothing about the gun looked particularly strange. Had it even been used? I'm pretty sure taser guns dispense some kind of wire when fired. Nearby, were some yellow pieces of plastic on the floor. They were the same shade of yellow as the taser gun. Had these originally been attached to it? I can't tell where they would fit on the gun, though. Never mind. What's the point in making guesses when I can just get to him to confirm? Listen, I'm trying to figure out everything else first so I can put together the pieces when I look at his body, okay? Chill. Trust my process, Damon. To know better than anyone else. Desmond! Ooh, we gotta go say hi to Desmond. I'll inspect the rest of the scene. Oh, okay. Thank you. Half of the generator's internals have melted away, and what still remained was almost completely singed. Yeah, this is definitely the cause of the power outage. What could have melted the wires, though? It looked like a bomb had gone off in there.
That's...
Now that I think about it, during the game tournament... Yeah, I did... There was something weird. Taking a deep breath, I steadied my grip on the controller, and pushed both joysticks as hard as I could. Kaboom! Huh? All of a sudden, the world around me turned pitch black. And there had been a loud boom right before the blackout happened. Similar to a firework going off or someone firing a gun. Did I overhear the sound of a generator being destroyed? Nothing else near the dining hall could have made that kind of noise, I don't think. Generator had been added to truth bullet section of your Tozu trinket. If my assumption is correct, the generator would have been destroyed around the same time the murder was committed. That's suspicious as hell. There's no way the two events aren't connected. But I'm also working purely off memory of the boom. To be absolutely sure, I need to know when exactly the blackout occurred. Was there any way for me to find out? Anything else? Oh, cord. Huh? There's a cord in the water. Judging by the length, I think it's an extension cord. But what the hell happened to the other end? There was no internal plug, just frayed tip lined with a black substance. Had the cord been burned? I didn't see the cord in the boiler room earlier, so it probably came from someplace else. What's that off to the side, onto the left? One of the storerooms, maybe. It wasn't always in this condition, that's for sure. All the items we've been providing so far, the light bulb, speakers, a fridge, they've worked perfectly well. So what happened to this cord, and why was it even in the water? Extension cord had been added to the truth bullet section of your Tozu trinket. Shrapnel? Is that what it says? Shrapnel? Chunks of something red was floating nearby the generator. It almost looked like metal or maybe plastic. Were these originally part of the generator? The colors and material doesn't seem to match, though. Shrapnel had been added to the truth bullet section of your Tozu trinket. Like, am I the one who feels that... I mean, I still think that the cause of death is electrocution. But it feels kind of obvious. I feel like... It feels kind of obvious. Unless I find something that's like, yes, this did cause it. Even though it's not been confirmed yet. I'm like, am I the one who's feeling that way? Surely I got everything by now. Okay. Let me see what else is around here. Oh, there's something there. A knife! Oh, is it bloody? Oh, a little bit. Very minuscule amount of blood. Like, it was like only one slice had been gone through it. Why was the knife floating in the water? Yeah, why is it floating in the water? Shouldn't knives be sunk? On the blades in the water, I could make something out. The unmistakable color of blood. There's no doubt about it. This knife must have been used to do with the murder. Why the knife was here and not actually on the platform, I had no idea. Just based on the blood marks, it looks like it had been slashed rather than stabbed. So, I guess look at his body for slash marks. We gotta strip him. Right, it feels I've gone over the boiler room a good rundown, which means it's time for him. Oh yeah, he definitely looked like he died in pain. Just yesterday, Wolfgang was talking with us about eating breakfast. Eating breakfast with us. And now, he's dead. Who had the resolve to commit such a needlessly brutal murder? To go so far as to mangle his body. I couldn't unpack it. I didn't know how to. This wasn't just some dummy I had to investigate. This is a real person. It was so far out of my expertise, let alone my comfort zone.
Hello.
Do you want to inspect him? Holy crap, did you really have to scare me like that? Yeah, I do want to inspect him. It's just the idea of getting close to him.
Where?
I'll investigate with you. It'll be easier for both of us that way. Right.
Right.
Okay, let's do this! Wolfgang laid completely still, his face frozen in a look of horror. Once bright eyes were shrouded in darkness, and his mouth was open, as if he'd been killed mid-scream. Eva's expression said it all. Wolfgang did everything in his power to make us outcasts and make the worst of us. At times I even hated him for it. Yeah, fuck you, Wolfgang! But this brought no relief to either of us. Wolfgang, what happened in his final moments that left him so terrified? Was it the realization that he was about to die? I mean, I would assume so. Realistically, what else would it be? Mulling over the what ifs won't bring me any closer to solving Wolfgang's murder. Right now, my focus should be on to find evidence. And that begins by investigating the body. Okay. Hands, blazer, hands. What's up with his face? Well, there doesn't seem to be any strange markings on Wolfgang's face. However, along the back of his neck was a massive bruise. Okay, there is a physical lesion. That looks like a really bad injury. Almost his entire neck is discolored.
Damn.
Right, how did he get this on the back of his neck? I would guess maybe he was attacked from behind. That makes sense. Nothing around seems to have left it. This might sound morbid, but what if it's a sign of his body decomposing? I doubt it. I really doubt it. He's been dead for less than 30 minutes.
That's...
Can a body really decompose that fast? That's what I'm saying, Damon. It could, or it could not. It really depends on the environment. Okay, that's true. It does depend on the environment, but it would have to be in a really hot place. And we are not in a really hot place. As in the temperature?
Correct.
Correct. Cold places are generally better for preserving things, and warm, humid areas like this boiler room. Kind of like dairy products. That's a good comparison. A tone-deaf one, but sure. Wolfgang didn't have this bruise yesterday at the very least. If he did, it would have been super noticeable.
fair.
True. Turning my attention back to Wolfgang, I caught something else on his body. Near the mark on his neck, but not directly overlapping. Ah! Taser mark! Is that a beauty mark? Girl. It doesn't look like it. The skin around the dot seems to be inflamed. It reminds me of a popped pimple. The sort of wound you could easily inflict on yourself.
So...
Then you don't think this is related to the murder? It might not be, but...
There must be something.
Judging by the lack of scabbing, this was inflicted pretty recently, so we may as well keep it in mind. Wolfgang's neck. I don't think... I think the back of his neck lesion is probably him being hit from behind and having to strike the neck, which probably stunned him at the very least. I don't think it's probably not the cord, because if it was a cord, the lesion would be all around the neck rather than just in the back. Let's look at his hand. With the way Wolfgang was slumped over the platform, it almost looked like he'd fallen on top of it. Let's see if his palms are scratched. I knelt down and took a closer look. Eh? Ah, that's a lightning marks! Electricity marks! It was caused of death by electricity! Yes! Trickling up from under his cuff on Wolfgang's sleeve and onto the rest of his hand, a strange injury that looked a lot like tree sapling. Was this a burn mark? When I looked at Wolfgang's other hand, I saw the same thing. Markings seemed to extend down from the arm.
Hell?
Eva, look at this!
Hello.
Let me see. Yeah, burn marks. It's electrocution marks, specifically. That's really horrible. They looked like gross little veins. What inflicted them?
That's...
There's a taser a little ways off from where we're standing, but I couldn't find anything to indicate it's been fired. So the only other thing I can think of is the generator.
Is that really true?
Why the generator?
No.
The thing has been clearly destroyed by something. Maybe Wolfgang got caught in that something and that's how he died?
Not sure.
I'm not sure. The generator seems too far from where Wolfgang is lying to cause burns like these.
Look at this.
Plus, the room's water isn't conductive, so electricity couldn't have traveled through it.
Right.
You're right. Anything able to melt the generator's wires would have burned his suit to a crisp too. I mean, it's possible the water was conductive, but just now isn't. Exactly.
Thinking.
I think Wolfgang's received these burns outside the boiler room. Really? There's just nothing here that could leave these markings. Are you sure about that? I can name 2 things. Why are we ruling out the taser? As for the actual place he got burned, guess we'll have to try and find it ourselves. That is, if such a place even exists. While it's possible the generator may not have been involved in the murder, it seems unlikely that Wolfgang made a detour for the boiler room after being severely burned. After all, burns like his would definitely paralyze someone. That's what I'm saying! Like, they definitely got stunned and then got paralyzed and then with the electricity. As for Wolfgang's palms, they didn't have any markings on them. Still, he must have fallen somehow. Why else would he be lying on this platform? Like, if he ran to the boiler room, why would he then be facing the door of the boiler room? Assuming he was running, wouldn't he run to the edge of the room? Even in a panic, would he not run to the edge of the room? If that's the case, why isn't his body facing the other way? His body's facing towards the door, not away from the door. As if he was trying to go out of the boiler room rather than into the boiler room. You see what I'm saying? I don't, you know. Wolfgang's blazer. Wolfgang's suit was completely crumpled and far from his once clean appearance. Water had seeped into his pants, completely ruining the fabric.
Eh?
Huh? As I leaned in close, I spotted a folded piece of paper sticking out from his back pocket. Though it was soaked, it wasn't completely destroyed.
Damn.
I really don't want to touch him, but with my thumb and index finger, I snatched the paper out of his pocket, taking care not to brush my hand against his body. I gingerly folded the open paper, aware that some of the water spots could fall apart immediately, and found a message written inside. That's some very ugly handwriting. Do you recognize it?
No.
A lot of the text is unreadable. Whoever wrote this probably used a low-quality pen. Although, the bottom of the page fragments of the message were still visible. Secret 8:15 a.m. Boiler room, close the door. Doesn't this read a lot like a command? It seems like someone wanted to arrange a private meeting with him here.
I see.
Could that someone be the culprit?
Not sure.
8:15 a.m. That's a long time before the time of death, though. Maybe there was a struggle, or maybe Wolfgang arrived late.
There must be
Either way, this
something.
message is definitely a valuable clue. It's our only other insight into Wolfgang's movements before his death.
Well,
Now I really want to know where everyone was at that time. It's definitely a setup, because you would assume, oh, the secret, the person would want to talk to him about his secret. But we know that we have Wolfgang's secret. We have Wolfgang's blackmail. So this, I think, I'm pretty confident that this was a trap by the culprit to lead him here to kill him. I woke up at 8:30 a.m. this morning, so I was asleep when this meeting was scheduled to happen. It's only 35 minutes before the tournament. Cassidy, Jet, Mark, and I would have already been in the dining hall.
Right.
Right, setting up equipment.
That's...
As for the other students, directly asking them where they were at 8:15 a.m. might be risky.
Where?
Because they would only wonder where we got this time from. Exactly, and I prefer to keep this note between the two of us. Why? At least for now. I like how secretive and suspicious Damon is as a protagonist, because it's very different to the other protagonists of the main series. He's definitely a neutral gray, like, an anti-hero force, a neutral gray force, as opposed to the good forces that were the other protagonists.
Anyways.
Anyway, the thing about secret, what do you think that means?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really sure. It could be referring to anything. Anything, huh? You know what it means?
I know.
I have an idea. The author of this letter might be talking about Wolfgang's blackmail. Huh? If they claim to have it, they could have baited him here without much of an issue. Yeah, see, Damon and I are on the same page. After all, Wolfgang asked us to meet the person whose blackmail we had.
Strange.
Derelict boiler room is a pretty ominous place to meet someone, though. It would have been Wolfgang's first time here, too, assuming he didn't explore this floor beforehand.
What could it be?
Either he didn't see the super obvious danger in the meeting here alone, or he did realize and just didn't care.
Right.
Right, does that change anything about what I said? Well, duh. If Wolfgang knew the warning signs, his reason for coming might have less to do with integrity.
You see?
And more to do with desperation.
Huh?
Desperation? To know the details of his blackmail,
I see.
it would stand to reason. If only Wolfgang had hidden this note somewhere safe instead of bringing it here, it would have been valuable evidence. I mean, we still have, I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. We still have the lower half of the note. We could compare handwriting with that lower half of the notes and see who wrote it based on that. Like, here. Let me see, truth bullets. I don't know how detailed the creators will be, but like we can still clearly see some words there and see the handwriting. It's a pretty fancy cursive handwriting. And one detail I noticed is that every character has their own signature. See? John writes in cursive. Shishiko writes in cursive. Is that your signature? That's okay. Grace kind of writes in cursive. So if we can and Ava also writes in cursive. But like just from looking here, Jean's looks the most similar to the truth to this. I don't know how consistent that will actually be. It's just a thing I noticed, that they each have their own signature written at the bottom of their profiles, and I think that's really cool. But like that would be really like interesting, not foreshadowing. Honestly, it's kind of metagaming to be just like, oh, let me just compare this handwriting with the other handwriting that the characters technically aren't able to see, but the player can. Okay, if it's John, that's really funny, and I think that's cool, but that's also really stupid. Okay, yeah. I doubt he could have envisioned something like this happening. He was never really on his guard during the killing game, except around you and me, I guess. Yeah, why did he just hate us? Now the body. Now that I think about it, the place where Wolfgang's laid out is odd. That's what I'm saying! What were the chances he would end up here between the only opening of the fence? The one spot where he could kneel over like this. Was it possible he'd been trying to climb onto the platform before he died? It's strange why he didn't use the stairs though, and even stranger that he was even in the water. That seemed to be everything I could gather.
Hello.
Hey, Damon. Since we've inspected the boiler room, we should find the student who left and ask them for their testimonies.
Right.
They went upstairs to investigate Wolfgang's dorm, right? Yes, because of what I said earlier. The victim's last known whereabouts are the best places to search for clues.
Okay.
Alright, let's see what they've been up to. Apart from collecting testimonies, there were two other matters on my hand. One, getting Desmond to inspect a taser gun, and two, pinpointing exactly when the blackout occurred in case it happened at the time of murder. I walked over to the boiler room door, which had been left slightly ajar, but as I began to pull the rest of the way open, I noticed it. The doorknob, something about it, looked different. Hey, Eva, doorknob, I think it's been flipped. Flipped? You sure? Take a look for yourself. The first time we woke up here, I'm pretty sure this lock was on the inside, not outside.
Is that really true?
How would someone be able to flip a doorknob, though?
That's...
By unscrewing it, probably. Yeah. Okay. Why didn't you say something earlier?
Huh?
What do you mean? This is the first time I've noticed it.
Is that really
Really?
true?
You didn't notice it back when you entered the boiler room with Kai? No, not even then. It might have been because of the darkness or my own nerves, but back then I wasn't paying attention to small details like the doorknob. All I wanted to do was enter the boiler room.
Anyways.
I know that makes me sound stupid.
Listen to me.
It's okay. I mean, I probably wouldn't have noticed the doorknob if I had been there, but that's besides the point. Alright. Anyway, the discovery paints an interesting picture. Since the lock was now accessible from the hallway, you could technically lock the boiler room shut without ever stepping foot in it. Meaning that if you wanted to lock someone in the boiler room, all you have to do is lure them in and close the door behind them. That's a good clue! Yeah, I'm pretty certain...
Moving on.
I'm pretty confident that the little piece of, like, metal Ulysses found was supposed to be a lockpick. Come on, we need to collect people's testimonies before the investigation ends. Right, let's go. Well... Yes, I want to leave. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, no, I'm unless it's a big twist in the case, I'm pretty confident his cause of death was electrocution. As a million questions rattled away in my mind, I followed Eva out the boiler room. Actually, Eva, before we go upstairs, it's probably worth checking out the storage closets first. Why?
I know.
I found something in the boiler room that might be related to them. Judging by the length, I think it's an extension cord. What the hell happened to the other end of it? There was no internal plug, just a frayed tip linked with a black substance. Had the internal end been severed off, the cord burnt after? I didn't see this cord in the boiler room either, so it probably came from someplace else, one of the storage rooms, maybe. That extension cord, we should confirm if it did indeed come from the storage closet. Okay?
However...
But first, I want to talk to Cassidy.
Come again?
You want to talk to her? Yes, I want to talk to her. Is that bad? She wasn't much help with the last investigation. Well, any help is better than no help.
Fair.
Alright, I'll talk to Cassidy first and investigate the storage closets on this floor. Hey, Cassidy! How we doing? Cassidy was pacing around the hallway with a finger on her chin, seemingly doing nothing.
No!
Oh, hey guys! Sorry for not noticing you sooner. I was performing a super sweep down of this here hallway. That's a lot of words for wandering around aimlessly.
Listen to me.
Can you put your sweep down and hold? I have a really important question.
Okay.
Let's hear it. Just don't drag it on too long, okay? Gotta finish my sweep down before time's up.
You see?
Do you remember who attended the tournament? The game tournament? Huh. Everyone who had slated to join kept their word, so we had a full house.
What about...
There were 8 people in total. Jet, Mark, Grace, Jean, Kai, and the 3 of us.
Huh?
Something on your mind? Well, since the murder happened in the boiler room, wouldn't that mean everyone in the dining hall has an alibi? Oh, that's a good point! I didn't even think about that. She's totally right. That's the first thing I thought of, Damon. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw the time of death. I'm like, oh, we're safe. We all have, like, airtight alibis, pretty much. Also, since we split into pairs while investigating those rooms down the hall, every parent could vouch for each other. Right, we all split up. What were the groups again?
Yep.
Jet and I explored storage closet B.
Eh?
Storage closet B.
Check it out!
That's what I called it on the map. Does she mean the map of Tozo Trinket? I have activated my trinket, and sure enough, see, storage closet B. There's also storage closet A, storage closet C, storage closet D. Those are definitely the rooms we all explored.
I see.
In that case, Kai and I must have explored storage closet C. I remember clearly the two of us checked the closet above and opposite the one Cassidy had searched. According to the map, the only closet to fit those parameters is storage closet C.
Correct.
Grace and I investigated the closet directly next to Damon, so we must have been inside storage closet A.
Yeah.
Which leaves Mark and Jean with storage closet D. Yeah, that makes sense. Storage closets. Yeah. You know, the handwriting thing's really getting to me. And now that I know that Jean was in one of the storage closets closest to the boiler room, I'm like, interesting. I wonder what that could mean. You know, Damo, since you're here,
Question.
what's the deal with you in the boiler room?
Huh?
What? When Kai told us the party members about Wolfie, he said you two went inside the boiler room.
How?
The heck did you do that for? You were supposed to check out the storage
No.
closet. You're not causing suspicion on me, are you?
Me?
Me? No way. As far as Cass is concerned, everyone is innocent until proven otherwise. I investigated the storage closet with Kai. We just didn't find anything
Anyway.
inside, although we did hear someone run down the hallway.
Am I hearing you right?
Huh? For real? Man, I'm lucky all that work for nothing. What's the plan now? Do we just, like, go back outside? Let's check out how the people next door are doing. Pet, 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 pet. Huh? Suddenly I heard frantic footsteps echoing from the hallway outside.
Doubt it.
Weird, I don't remember hearing any
It's
footsteps.
the truth.
I do.
Really?
Eh? Eva, dude, did you really? I heard them while Grace and I were investigating the storage room next to yours.
However,
I just brushed off as my imagination, though.
F.
Guess me and Jet must have been talking over them. Were those footsteps the reason you entered the boiler room, Damo? It's Damon, and yeah, they came from the direction of that room, so I wanted to see what the person was running
For
from.
real?
Wait a minute. Regulations. I wonder if it's specified. Because I don't think there was ever a rule specified that says, like, in the first games, 3 or more people have to discover a body before an announcement is made. Assuming that this game is following suit and that it has to be 3 people, someone else discovered the body and ran away. Maybe it was going to try and tell people that they found a body, but they ran away. Because it was only me and Kai who found the body, and then the announcement struck. But if the rule is that 3 people have to find it, the person who we probably heard run away probably also found it. Either was trying to hide it or was trying to find someone to tell, but didn't get there in time before we did. Ooh, really? I would have just chased after the footsteps. I mean, entering the boiler room and after something like that, you weren't scared a murderer was hiding inside. What I actually discovered wasn't much better. True, true. Then whose footsteps could those have been then? I don't know why anyone would want to be running around in those spooky hallways, let alone in the dark.
What about...
Unless, oh, maybe they were also looking for a backup generator.
That's not important.
I doubt it's that innocent, considering the place this person ran away from was the crime scene. Those footsteps were probably the killers. You mean fresh off committing the murder?
Right.
Fresh off the murder, or a bit after, depends on what time we went downstairs. Either way, whether it was immediately after the murder or not, for a brief moment the only thing separating from us from Wolfgang's killer were the storage room walls. That's creepy to think about. Footsteps has been added to the truth bullet section of your Tozu trinket. Thus, bit by bit, the mystery slowly unravels. No need to thank me. Tis all in a day's work. Shouldn't even do anything. Boo. That worked?
Interesting.
Wow, that was easy.
The hell?
Why did you do that? To see if you were nervous.
Seriously?
Of course I'm nervous. You were nervous earlier.
No,
Earlier, yeah, but not
Moving
anymore.
on.
Anyway, you shouldn't be so nervous. If you're too nervous, you won't be able to think straight, so you should calm down. Have some tea or something. Easier said than done.
Well,
Well, we've already investigated the really ugly stuff, right? You don't need to think about that stuff for now. Just focus on collecting people's testimonies.
listen to me.
I can keep reminding you if you want. I'll be fine. Alright. Let's just go one by one. Okay, the storage closet A.
Yeah.
Let's take a look around. I began to inspect the shelves. The glint of something shiny caught my eye. Huh? Eva, look! There's a rolling pin here with handprints on it too. Where?
Strange.
What do you imply? Someone used this recently and it's not for its intended purpose.
I know.
Look, can you see how the handprints are at the base of the pin? You aren't rolling much dough if you're rolling it like this, like a tennis racket, are you? The pin is also really dusty. And if it came... The pin is also... The pin? Yeah. The pin is also really dusty. If it came from the kitchen, it would be clean like the other utensils here. Wait, then why is it dusty if it was just recently used? Yeah, agreed. Not only that...
Jeez.
Right, there's a dent on the pin too. Really? On the end opposite of the handprints. Can you see it? I really need to learn how to read. Oh yeah, I can see that. Handprint and a dent? That's definitely not a coincidence.
Focus.
Could this pin have something to do with the mark that we found on Wolfgang's neck? If it was used to knock him out, it would not only explain the dent on the pin, but the bruise of Wolfgang's neck. How did it make its way into the closet, though?
Huh?
What do you mean? How did the pin make its way into the closet after the killer used it? Oh?
There must
I
be
mean,
something.
if the footsteps kind I heard were the killers, they probably chucked the pin in here on their way out. Damon, think about the sentence you just said. We were all in storage rooms. There's no way.
Absolutely not.
No, that's not what happened.
Huh?
If the killer entered this closet and hit the rolling
Listen to
pin,
me.
Grace and I would have seen them. Crap, of course, she and Grace were investigating the closet at the time. What if the killer placed the pin here before any of us came downstairs?
David.
If they were out in the hallway, why didn't they use that as their chance to escape? Damn it, she's right about that too. Could this rolling pin really be unrelated? But it lines up so with the other evidence. I think I see where the handprints are coming from. A little bit at the base there, I see like fingerprint. It almost looks like.
Moving on.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else to this room. Let's keep investigating. One moment. She's speaking nonsense, and next she's totally coherent. I don't think I'll ever understand this girl. I think she's doing a better job investigating than you. I'm gonna be real honest with you, Damon. Right, I should check to see if there's blood in the hallway. This was a closet Kai and I explored. It was hard to get a good look at the contents in the dark, but seeing it now,
I see.
there doesn't seem to be anything important here. I think we can move on. Okay. Just do a quick peruse. Aha! There's dried blood on the floor. For some reason, it seemed to pool right around this particular spot. Dried blood, like in the boiler room.
Eh?
You noticed the blood in there?
Correct.
I noticed you noticing
I
it.
see.
So,
So who do you think left all this blood behind?
Focus.
Well, it can't be Wolfgang's, can it? Considering the sort of injuries he sustained, it wouldn't make sense for him to have spilled a lot of blood.
There must be something.
Which means the only other possibility left with us is...
what could it be?
the blood belonged to someone else? Yeah, exactly. Well, let's just... I know, no one's gonna agree to it, but let's do a physical examination. I didn't notice the blood here. Would you have pointed it out to me? Eh? I would have pointed it out to you if the roles were reversed. That way you'd know not to step in it.
Right.
Sure, I'd point it out.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Look.
This is storage closet D.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark and Jean explored this one. Let's see what I can find here. Is there anything weird about this room?
That's...
I think I see something behind this pile of boxes. I stood on my tiptoes to get a better look.
Jeez.
So they really are here.
Well,
What's here? Extension cords, a whole bunch of them.
Strange.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, these are definitely the same type of cord I saw in the boiler room. Only difference is they still have their other half intact. Huh, the internal plugs are pretty slim compared to the other kinds of cords. And the fact these cords match the one in the boiler rooms means the killer must have rummaged through the storage closets for equipment. For what reason they needed the cord, I had no idea, but this was still a step in the right direction. Extension cord has been updated in the Truth Bullet section of your Tozu trinket. Besides that box of cords, nothing else about this room is standing out to me.
So,
Do you want to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. Yeah, I can't really pinpoint, besides, like, Jean, just because of the handwriting. It's literally only because of the handwriting that you might be able to put together for no reason. Damn it.
interesting.
Oh, did I not come in this room? The map says this is storage closet
Right.
B, right? The closet Cassie and Jet explored.
Look,
Do you see that?
Eh?
See what? The box in the corner over there. Confused, I turned to where she was pointing. This is... I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
A generator, right? The one you were referring to during the blackout.
correct.
Yeah, exactly. Since I explored these rooms before, I knew one of them had a backup generator.
That's...
This is the closest thing... If this closet had the backup generator, wouldn't that mean the ones who restored the power...
Thinking,
Well, if Cassie and Jet were the only people who entered this room, then they're the people who brought the power back. Damn, I'm surprised who actually knew how to navigate a generator. Okay. Seems to be all there is to this closet. We've looked through all the closets now. Did you find everything you needed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. The rolling pin, and the stack of extension cords, there's no doubt that they're relevant. There's no doubting the relevance to this case. At least based on what I've investigated so far.
Anyway.
Eva, let's go upstairs and collect some more testimonies.
Where?
Haha. Where? Finally. Let's go! Yeah, man, I thought I got all the rooms. I think I must have accidentally gone back into a room I was already in. Alright. As Eva and I emerged from the basement, on the lookout for anything which could aid us in our investigation. Sniff. Eh? Right in front of us, a flustered Eloise was huddled with her back to the wall. Standing next to her...
Yeah.
Sup, you guys. Might want to lower your voice around here, cause some stuff has happened.
What could it be?
Is something wrong? Sorry, Eloise had a bit of a frightened experience recently.
You think?
I think we all have.
No kidding.
Well, yeah, the scene downstairs is bad, but I'm talking about something else. Oh, what happened, baby girl? After Tozu left, we tried going inside Wolfgang's room to look for clues, but the moment we stepped inside, she suddenly pounced on me. She? She dragged me out, and Desmond ran after us. I haven't been able to get my heart to stop beating so quickly since.
Huh?
Hold on, the she referring to?
Shit.
Yep, it's Grace. Yeah, Grace looked agitated when they said, oh, we need to explore his room. Like, it went to her for a second. She didn't say anything, but it went to her. She's just like, don't come into my room. She'd been guarding Wolfgang's dorm ever since she kicked us out. Grace was blocking access to Wolfgang's dorm? What the hell? We can't let her bar us from entering his room. The class trial could start at any moment. That's what I tried telling everyone else, but they pretty much gave up. Jed and Mark went to the dining hall, Diana went to the laundry room, and Toshiko and Ingrid went to the courtyard. Eloise and I, though we're not gonna let this slide. We gotta get inside the room. So we've been brainstorming other ways to approach Grace.
Think about it this way.
We've landed on something, performing a brief inquisition. Inquisition? If Grace doesn't want to cooperate, we'll start badgering her with questions, poke at her ego until it eventually retreats.
Safety first.
If you want, you can join us. A debater must be good at dashing verbal beatdowns, yeah? I did come here to inspect Wolfgang's dorm, so I might as well. If that's the case,
I'm out.
I'll go to the dining hall and ask Jed and Mark for their testimonies. You're not coming along?
Where?
Grace isn't someone I'd like to be around right now. You three can handle her. Something tells me she's just afraid of her talent being mocked.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely gonna be mocked with Grace. Grace is kind of mean. No sweat. Have fun with Jed and Mark.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Eva left in the direction of the laundromat, clearly taking the long route to the dining hall. Should we approach Grace then?
Totally.
Yeah, let's not waste any time.
Okay.
You want to take the lead, Damon? Oh, sure. I wasn't going to admit it to either of their faces, but their plans seemed pretty half-baked. Not because I was going to face off with Grace, but because she was too. How could a bumbling person like her be of any help in a verbal showdown? If anything, she'll probably make us look uncoordinated. I guess I'll have to do most of the heavy lifting here. Since Grace was guarding Wolfgang's door, she should be right around the corner. Right around... Why'd you point me in this direction? She's literally down the hall. We can see her. Let's go. Grace! You're a bitch! Don't you get yuppies? Don't you two yuppies get it? What? Don't you two yuppies get it? You're not coming in.
Don't get it mixed up.
Hang on, we're not here for that. Emma just wants to ask you a question.
Back off.
He isn't coming in either way.
Jeez.
Why not? I need to investigate Wolfgang's dorm room.
Soybean.
Back off, Soybean. His room is none of your business. Except it is. I have to search his last known whereabouts, which includes his dorm room by default.
See that?
What if I said I'd done the job for
Come
you?
again.
As in you've searched the room. High and low. What if I found nothing? For us to believe that, we need to see it ourselves.
Oi!
You think I'm lying?
Just saying.
There's a chance you could be, unfortunately. Eh? Think about it. You haven't given us any reason to believe you. Someone who's got nothing to hide wouldn't be acting so protective right now, you know. It gives the impression that there's something you really don't want us to see.
Anyway.
Also, couldn't this be considered breaking the rules? Tozu wants the game to be fair, but being prevented from searching every room doesn't seem very fair.
Don't test me.
Even if it isn't, what are you gonna do? I'll report you to Tozu. Huh?
You.
Huh?
Makes sense.
Nice idea. Why do you say we look for him now? If Tozu agrees this is sabotage, she might call Mara to help. Oi, it's not sabotage. I'm not hiding anything about the murder. Don't try and get me involved. Desmond never mentioned Wolfgang's murder.
Anyway.
Look, just let us into the room. If you're telling the truth, we'll drop our suspicions.
Gotta stay one step
The
ahead.
reality of the situation is, we gotta invade Wolfgang's privacy if we want to know what happened to him. If he would want to investigate our dorms, it would be anyone else who died. Grace stood there silently gritting her teeth. Then she stepped away from the door.
Okay.
Sweet, thanks, Grace. With sighs of relief, we entered Wolfgang's dorm. I wondered what she wanted to hide specifically. So this was Wolfgang's dorm. While some of my expectations were correct, a lot about the room was still surprised me. I anticipated the layout resembling my dorms and the decor reflecting his talents. What I didn't anticipate was how messy it was. Well, not messy, just really casual. A room that clearly been lived in.
Oi, you.
Don't move things around when you inspect them. I want to keep the room as is. To be honest, I'm not sure why I was even surprised. I see clothing on the floor, but like... I'm interested in this little tie here. It looks like his tie and her suit on the floor. Clothes are scattered across the room, including a familiar-looking woman's jacket. Nothing about them looks suspicious. Hey, Desmond. What's up, Damon?
Hi.
Can you check something out for
Easy
me?
enough.
In here or
That's not it.
in the boiler room? I found a taser gun in there.
Are you for real?
I can't tell if it's been fired or not, and I don't think it has, but I want to know for sure, because if I'm wrong, and this taser gun was used, it might be a clue to the nature of Wolfgang's death.
No kidding.
What we're talking about is that big of a deal, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, since you're skilled at using guns, I
All
figured.
good.
No sweat. I'll see to it once I'm done here. I really like that he's like a marksman. He's good with like guns and bows and arrows. Like he just straight up has arrows on his person. Like, I'm sure they're not real arrows, because that would just be a straight up liability. I don't think if they were real arrows, I think everyone would just be like, hey, put your arrows away. We don't want those anywhere near us. So I'm just gonna assume they're fake. Eloise? Eloise is kneeling on this floor, sorting through Wolfgang's bedside ottoman with a serious look on her face.
Hi.
Hey, can we talk for a second?
Give me a moment.
Okay. She closed the ottoman and stood up, not wearing the same nervous expression she always did. Is there something wrong? I want to know your whereabouts during Wolfgang's murder. Oh, when the murder happened, I was with Desmond in the courtyard. The courtyard? Yes. You can ask Desmond to confirm if you're confused. No, I'm fine.
It's simple.
Let me just ask this. What were you doing during the blackout? But blackout? Yeah, you did experience it, right?
That's not...
No, I don't think there was ever a blackout. We were only alerted to the murder because of Tozu's
I
announcement.
see.
So my theory was right. If Winona never experienced a blackout in the tree room, and Eloise never experienced a blackout in the courtyard, both those buildings must be connected to an entirely different power source. Why are you so nervous about this room? We're not here for that, my ass. Hey. Normally should be meeting my eyes.
Quit it.
I know you suspect me. I can tell by the look on your face. But I don't know anything about his death. To be in the dark like everyone else about a person she was so close to. Damn it, get a grip on yourself, Damon. Grace can claim to know nothing about the murder, but what about everything before it?
Anyway.
So, I heard a rumor you became Wolfgang's new bunk buddy. This room seems to confirm that. How was he this morning? Grumpy? Happy? Sick.
Eh?
We were planning on going to the game tournament, but he woke up with an ache in his stomach. He woke up sick? If you're telling me the truth and Wolfgang planned to attend the tournament,
That's not it.
why did he say the opposite yesterday? Admittedly, I am also a little hesitant about attending. I'm not sure if I will have the time for it. Oh, he must have gotten the note already and was already planning on attending, on going to the meeting. He must have already received that note. It says, oh, this kind of conflicts with the time they're supposed to meet up, and that's why he said he was busy. I even mentioned just like, how are you busy? What are you busy doing? Like, what is occupying your time that you're like, oh, I can't make it, I'm busy. Like, if you don't want to go, that's fine, you don't want to go. But to specifically say you're busy is just weird. Because none of us are busy, I can tell you that. Heh, more like you want another round of pachinko machine.
Watch and learn.
I would know, I interrogated him after breakfast.
No.
What? That's seriously what he meant?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, which is why I told him, hey no, let's do the tournament. He was a bit finicky at first, typical for a soybean, but he eventually caved. Wolfgang and was a pachinko player? I'm not sure I can believe that. Then again, someone of the paraphernalia in this room looked neither golf nor law related.
Okay.
Alright, so based on what you're saying, Wolfgang agreed to attend the tournament yesterday. However, come this morning... Wolfgang remembered the pirate was attending, so we suggested I track down that guy and partner with him instead.
Right.
Right, because you needed to bring a partner to the tournament. Wolfgang knew I was miffed about it. His smile said as much. But I walked out to the door anyway.
Dumbass.
Wolfgang said it was too sick to get out of bed, so I walked away. If Wolfgang really had been bedridden, how did he wind up in the boiler room? Oh, he lied, obviously. Either he didn't come of his own volition, or he was never sick to begin with. By the look on her face, I could tell Grace realized the same thing. With all that said, it wasn't like Wolfgang to hide anything. Are you sure about that? For a guy who was so gung-ho about honesty, you'd think he would confide in the person he was closest to. Did the letter I find in his blazer pocket have something to do with it? At the bottom of the page, fragments of a message were still visible. Secret 8:15 a.m. Closed the door. And closed the door. Doesn't this read a lot like a command? While only a few words were legible, a lot could be gleaned from them. For example, the mention of a secret, Did the rest of the note elaborate on it, or was the word alone enough to scare Wolfgang? Maybe he wanted to shield Grace from information even he couldn't handle, or maybe he simply didn't want her to know. Whatever the reason, Wolfgang Akiri deliberately hid information from someone. Ironic, huh? Grace's testimony has been added to the truth bullet section of your Tozu trinket. There's just a lot of clothes on the floor. You got a little bear, a wheel bear. A large toy bear adorned the bed. Something tells me this didn't belong to the room originally. Well, I guess that's all I can find. Why was Grace so antsy about people entering? There didn't seem to be anything suspicious lying around here. In any case, since I am done here, I should head to the dining hall. I'm pretty sure that's where Eva said she was going. Yep. Hello, everybody. Oh, okay, bye, Eva.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Eva. Hello, I just finished talking to everyone here. Anything important?
Rage.
Nothing important. I don't think Jed and Mark are taking this seriously. This might end like a mock trial where only a couple people know what they're doing. Does she really think so? Well, that information definitely didn't bode well for me. I couldn't afford to be discouraged by it. Not unless I want to die in this game.
Focus.
I'll see if I can make those two talk.
Thanks.
Good luck. We got Jet.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it just me? Is it me, or is there something funky about this
Come
place?
again?
What? I don't know, man. Everything feels kind of off. I can't place why, though. It's been bugging the crap out of me. Sounded like he just felt uncomfortable being here. Guess I can't blame him. With the turn things have taken, the tension and excitement of the tournament was all a distant memory. And this room was now a reminder of Wolfgang died right under our noses. What about Kai? I like Kai. Kai and I are bros. Ah, shit. Why didn't Tozu fix the blackout himself? Is the maintenance of this place seriously our responsibility?
Not okay!
The fridge and pantry are restocked every day, though. Ah, can't things just be consistent? Lighting aside, he made a good point. Why didn't Tozu fix the blackout? Thinking back on this spiel from earlier, the tablet's information has been divulged in such a way that both the killer and the spotless have an equal chance of success. Did Tozu abstain from fixing the blackout because it was important to the killer? They could easily make their escape if no one could see anything.
Wait.
Oh yeah, Damon, since you're here, I've been thinking really hard about those footsteps we heard.
Come again?
When we were at the storage closet.
No, seriously.
Yeah, they were soft, right? Like a person was wearing socks.
I see.
Now that you mention it, it did sound like socks on a hard floor. Of all things to be read about, it had to be this. What do you mean?
Man.
I mean, why didn't the killer just wear shoes? Think about it. The sound of something like heels would be pretty distinct, right? Or what about sneakers? They get really squeaky on smooth floor. And
Don't say
what
that.
I'm saying is you could totally figure out the shoe from the sound it makes. And if you know what shoes the killer had on, you can just look at the person with the matching pair. But socks? Anyone can be wearing socks. The person probably moved their shoes for that reason.
This sucks.
Ugh, just our luck. Would anyone, like, be smart enough? Like, sneakers, sneakers, sneakers. I can't tell. Boots? I think I'm also wearing sneakers. Mark had returned to his position by the equipment.
Hi.
Hey, Desmond and Eloise told me you plan to investigate Wolfgang's dorm. Brace isn't guarding it anymore, so you can go inside now. Let me guess, you don't want to investigate.
It's nothing.
I just came here to make sure my interface wasn't damaged. The investigation could spell the difference between life and death, yet his priority was the stupid music equipment. Don't you think that looks... Don't you think it looks suspicious, what you're doing?
What?
Hmm? I heard people are already giving Grace a side eye for being uncooperative. What they might say if they find out you've ditched the investigation.
Slow down.
Yo, hold on! Jet called out from the other side of the room and ran over. Can't you see Broski isn't feeling well? Give the guy some space.
That's not important.
I don't care. I'm working on a time limit. Who are you to talk anyway? Judging by the look on Broski's face, whenever you guys are together,
It's simple.
out of everyone here, I think you know the least about personal space. Huh? What? No way! Sure, Mark might not talk a whole lot, but if he wasn't having a fun, do you really think he would be hanging out so much?
Broskies always stick
Come on,
together.
Broski, back me up here. Time. Uh-huh. What time did the murder happen?
That's
9:35 a.m. Check this. He pointed to a small digital clock on the top music pad.
that's
Huh? This is the time of the murder.
Ah,
It was like this when I came back here. I think the clock got screwed over by the blackouts. So now it's frozen on whatever it was displaying before it lost power. Then that confirms my suspicions. The blackout and by association the destruction of the generator occurred at the time of Wolfgang's murder. DJ pad clock had been added to the truth bullet section of your Tozu trinket. Yeah. I'm getting a lot of pieces of how the murder happened, but I'm still unable to pinpoint the who in any capacity. Besides the handwriting, but that's technically not counted in the evidence, so it's not reliable. But oh my gosh, if it's actually Jean, and I'm just like, it might be him because his handwriting looks similar to the one on the from the evidence. That wow. Sheesh, this is getting hard to watch. Anything else? I guess I can just do another run by with everyone.
Where?
This might be the end of the mock trial. We're only a couple people knowing what they're doing. Actually, wait, can I leave? That's what I thought, yeah. Basically saying, actually, let me look at the whiteboard. Cassidy clearly spent a lot of time doodling this. She must be upset that we didn't even finish a single round. The first time people have a get-together and they're interrupted by murder. Thinking back on it, the game tournament and the murder happened really close to each other. The former began at 9 a.m., while the latter occurred at 9:35 a.m. That's within the same hour. And taking another look at this whiteboard, yeah, I can see why the killer chose to attack so soon. 8 potential witnesses all situated in one place, too preoccupied with video games to notice the world around them. There couldn't be a more perfect time to strike. I think it should be the opposite. 'Cause, like, 8 people all collectively together means 8 alibis together. That kind of just, like, doubles your chance of getting caught. That's half the cast. There are 16 people, and if 8 of them are together at the time of your murder, that means there's only 7 people that could have done it, meaning you have a 1 in, like, just statistically alone, you have a 1 in 7 chance of getting caught, when it could have been 1 in 15. Assuming that's when it all happened. I think that was it. Nope. Let me just go down the line again. With the turn things have taken, the tension and excitement of this tournament was all but a distant memory. All this room was a reminder of Wolfgang died right in front of our noses. Yeah, I know. I want to talk to Jet. I can't talk to Jet? Or am I just missing the thing? Jet Dawson. Okay. Kai. If you know what the shoes killer had on, you could just look for the person with the matching pair. With socks? Anyone could be wearing socks. Maybe the vent. Vent. I can't hear the whir of the generator anymore. Back to Mark. The digital clock at... It's all stuff we've already confirmed. Pantry. I didn't look at the pantry. This was where the loud gulp girl Grace woke up. It would have been funnier if she was shoved into the refrigerator instead. Damn. Kitchen? May as well skim through the kitchen just in case. Oh, because the knife, yes. Looking at the inside cabinets, there didn't seem anything about the ordinary. Except, huh? This knife block had a knife missing from it. For a kitchen knife to go missing at the time a knife is floating in the boiler room's water, that can't be a coincidence. Missing knife been updated in triple section of your Tozu trinket. Aha, that was it! Oh, I didn't... Oh my, would you look at the time? Okay, that's interesting. I didn't actually get to interview everyone. I didn't get to go to the garden or the tree room. I dare say we ought to get this trial started soon. How does 20 minutes from now sound? Oh, okay, we still have more time. Great, great. Please continue to investigate. Until then, see you later. What? There's only 20 minutes until the trial?
Hang on.
Damon. How does she keep scaring me? The investigation's almost over. We need to find the other three.
That's...
The other three?
As I was saying...
Toshiko, Ingrid, and Diana.
Jeez.
Alright, calm down. Desmond said they were in the courtyard, right?
I'm talking.
And Diana's in the laundry room. Then let's talk to Diana first, since the laundry room is in the same building. In the meantime, don't panic, okay?
Can't you see?
I'm not panicking. As she said that, she motioned for me to follow her over the door. Eva might deny it, but the anxiety which had been bubbling up her was clearly starting to boil over. Although, with how fast my own heart was beating, I guess she's not alone. Beep. Yes, I would like to leave, thank you. Okay. This way? I think it doesn't matter, I think it's pretty much on the opposite side of the building anyways. Diana! Alright, if Desmond's telling the truth, then Diana should be in here. Diana! She's dead. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Diana was standing with her back pressed against the wall, arms wrapped around herself in a tight embrace. She's even worse shape than before. Diana, I need to ask you a question. Please give me a moment. It's been kind of tough.
No.
The investigation is going to end really soon. We can't wait. Okay, sorry. Where were you during the blackout? Oh, the blackout right before the body was discovered? I was just in my room, alone, doing my makeup. You don't have any makeup on, though. I was experimenting with new combinations, so I wiped it all off already.
I see.
So you were alone in your room the entire morning? Yeah, I just wasn't feeling up to it.
Sorry.
Sorry for feeling a little sick all of a sudden. Do you mind if I go back to my dorm? I've asked all the questions I wanted to.
So...
You think she was acting weird at all?
That's...
No weirder than the others. Anyway, since Diana gave a testimony, I can cross her off my list now. Which means the only people I still need to speak to...
Where?
I hope Ingrid and Toshiko are still in the courtyard. I love those two. I love Ingrid. We wouldn't know until we see for ourselves. Yes, I want to leave. Thank you. We have no time to spare. No time to spare. Aha. Toshiko and Ingrid retreated under the bandstand at the center of the courtyard. The larger girl was comforting the smaller girl who had completely hidden her face behind her fan.
Hello?
Hey, have either of you been investigating? Investigating? Toshiko lowered her fan to reveal a pair of puppy eyes.
Unacceptable!
I don't know. What do you expect me to do?
Seriously?
To look for clues? Clues?
Impossible!
How am I meant to do that? It's not like I've had to solve a murder before, you know. My hands have been a bit full, so no luck finding any clues. I can see why.
Moving on.
Okay, well, did you at least notice anything suspicious this morning? It could be a person acting odd or a strange sound. That's what most real-life testimonies talk about anyways.
Think this through.
A person acting odd. Maybe not at the time, but looking back, it definitely seems a little strange. Do you want to tell them, Toshiko? Okay, fine. This morning I saw Wolfgang. Huh? When did you see him? In the dorm hallway. I'm on my way back from the pharmacy. In the dorm hallway? Just as I was about to enter my room, I saw Wolfgang leave his. Oh, Wolfgang! What a coincidence, running into each other like this. Are you already on your way to the tournament, Miss Kayura? It's rather early. Of course not. A professional like myself knows better than to attend some silly party. Right, my apologies. Well, what about you? Are you going to the tournament? That's correct. I'm going to the tournament. I'm just heading to the laundry room right now. There's a batch of clothes I accidentally left behind there. Liars. Wolfgang said he was going to attend the tournament?
Strange.
Yesterday he told everyone he was too busy to attend. I assumed he'd changed his mind and I had no reason to question him. I heard bits and pieces of their competition from inside my dorm. The whole thing couldn't have lasted longer than a minute.
Bit
Toshiko
complicated.
and I are bunk buddies, by the way. I thought I mentioned that in case Damon didn't know. Oh, okay, thanks. Anyways, when I heard what Wolfie said, my first thought was, leftover clothes? I don't remember any leftover clothes. But I figured I must have been misremembering what with my aching head and all. Aching head? I was suffering a terrible headache this morning. Couldn't even see 2 steps in front of me, let alone get up from my bed. That's why I had gone to the pharmacy. I was hoping to procure some medication for Ingrid. Not my proudest moment, but I'll admit, I knew I could trust Toshiko with the job.
So,
You know what time the interaction with Wolfgang happened? 10 past 8, I think?
how should I put it?
The conversation happened just a little after the morning announcement. That I can tell you with confidence. Yes, 10 past would make sense. When the announcement initially played, I was just about to leave the pharmacy. Then she was already inside the pharmacy by 8 a.m. So Wolfgang, he looked totally fine when you saw him?
Sure.
Yeah, nothing seemed awry. That doesn't call into question what Grace told me earlier. Either Grace lied to me about Wolfgang was calling in sick, or she was telling the truth, and Wolfgang just got outed as a liar. Wolfgang's a liar, and you know it. I can probably deduce an answer if I know what time Grace left Wolfgang's dorm. If she left before 8:10 a.m., then she would have already been out of the picture by the time Wolfgang made his move, hence why she only remembers him in bed. However, if she left after 8:10 a.m., then she would have been there waiting for Wolfgang's encounter with Toshiko, which means she lied about Wolfgang being bedridden during the period of the time when she was in his dorm. Funny how she never gave me a time. Toshiko's fetch quest had been added to the truth bullet section of your Tozu trinket. What else happened after Toshiko saw Wolfgang? That blackout sure gave us a spook. Toshiko and I decided to stay where we were until the lights turned on, though we did watch you and your buddies pass by. You saw that?
How should I put it?
Heard it first, then took a peek. I would have said something, but I still wasn't feeling my usual self, so we watched you up until you all went down the stairs. That must have been how you found the crime scene, right? Yeah, that's right.
Too much for me.
Such a terrible sight. I can't believe someone here would actually be behind it. Let's just hope we can solve it. Aha, and here it is. That's... Alright everyone, that's time. Please drop whatever it is you're doing and proceed over to the Tree of Ignorance. Don't make me wait too long, otherwise you'll be in for a shocking surprise. Get it? Because your trinkets can zap you. Anyway, get to move on. It's time.
Fingers crossed.
You two go on ahead. Toshiko and I'll catch up.
Listen to me.
Okay, everyone, let's go. Let's go, Damon. Eva and I made the short trek to the room with the tree. Once there, we waited for the others to arrive. Eventually, everyone had shown up. So, how are you guys feeling?
It's me.
Words wouldn't do it justice.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty bad. I can't tell you how I feel when I don't even know how I feel. I'd rather we save time for talking for the trial. The trial? In just a few moments' time, we were going down there. I think we gotta check up with Desmond to see what he saw with the gun. Down there to trial room, fighting for survival, using only our words. Damn it, Damon, get a grip already. Before the door in the tree opens, I need to ask Desmond if he has any new information about the taser gun.
Hi.
Hey. Hey. His voice was steady, but his eyes kept darting around the room. Did you check the taser?
Right.
Right, I did. Any findings? Just one. The gun's blast doors were missing.
Huh?
Blast what?
Eh?
I think that means it was used. All of a sudden, the ground. Oh, no, not again. Hold on to something, everyone. The Tree of Knowledge, a symbol of sentience, intuition, and understanding, exists here only as a barren replica. The tree of ignorance emulates the wonder of nature, but does not achieve it. And justly so, for ignorance often aspires to be seen as wisdom.
Shit.
Well, I guess we gotta cut the conversation short. I'll explain everything during the trial. Let's not keep this goat guy waiting.
Holy!
Oh man, this is really happening. We're so screwed. We're totally gonna
It
die.
is how it is.
If you go in expecting to fail, chances are you will.
Game over, man!
I'm gonna think of failure even more because you said that.
Hold your horses.
Look at it this way. Who here are the cards more stacked against? 14 people working together to solve a murder, or one person trying to lead everyone astray?
Are we ready?
If anyone's in for struggle, it ain't the group of 14.
Do you think?
You make a good point. Statistically, the odds are in our favor here.
It'll be okay.
Exactly! Luck will be on our side.
No, it's not.
If luck was on our side, we wouldn't be in a killing game to start with. Can I say something first before we go? Oh, what is it? It's a message for the killer.
What did you say?
A message for the killer? The person here who killed Wolfgang. Whoever you are, can you please step forward? Huh?
I want to help.
We don't have to do this class trial. If you can just find it in yourself to step forward and bring this whole thing to an end already, then please. Despite Diana's pleas, no one came forward. Like, come on, Diana.
Come on.
If someone is determined enough to commit murder, they won't back down just because of one person's pleas. Since we're on a subject, I also got a message for the killer.
Dumbass!
Don't forget the punishment that fits the crime, asshole. Enjoy the fucking death penalty. Grace spat out those words and disappeared into the opening of the tree.
Can I go now?
Co-signed.
Slow down.
Yo, broski, wait up! One by one, people began to follow suit. I guess if it's time to go. We knew where the stairs would take us, and where the elevator afterwards would deliver us, but everything beyond that was shrouded in uncertainty. There was no mock trial waiting for us, no faux murder designed to waste our time with a stupid mystery. This was undoubtedly real. Come on, Damon, get a hold of yourself already. Taking a deep breath, I approached the opening in the tree and descended into the darkness. Oh man, look at all of us. Interesting. Well, Winona's the only one whose face you can see. I don't know if that's significant or any way, but eh. It was the same. The same elevator, the same slow turning of metal, and echoing sounds of clunky machinery. Yet something was different. Someone was gone. Someone who I'd never held in high regard, but who was still a person nonetheless. A person with feelings, a person with aspirations, a person with a family. A person who I will never hear speak again. Not a single word. Well, am I ready for this? What was what I did during the investigation the best I could have done? Will it be enough to carry me through the trial? Will it be enough to lead me to Wolfgang's killer? I won't know until I do it. Until I face this trial head on. There was no way I can place my faith in other people here. There was no way they'll come to the correct conclusion. Our survival depends on me. 'Cause I'm intelligent. Elevator began to slow, snapping me back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. I adjusted my tie and stood up tall, when the movement stopped completely. The doors in front of us opened.
Rise and shine.
Somebody call an ambulance. I think I've got a case of deja vu.
Isn't this lovely?
It only feels like yesterday we were playing detective with the corpse of a crime scene. Oh my, how what is that word? Insicant? I don't know. How insicant and chipper so many of you used to be.
How interesting.
After all that back and forth over simple whodunit mystery, I'm truly curious as what today's trial will yield.
Yeah.
Just to remind myself, our names are on the podiums, right? Eager to start, are we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, to find your podium, just look for where your name is written.
The show must go on.
Come now, hop to it. I'm so excited I can barely wait a second longer. I really don't want to do this.
Oh, crud.
We gotta do as he says, though. Otherwise, that enforcer lady will get mad. Knowing we were powerless to disobey Tozu, we began to disperse and locate our podiums.
Hey.
Is it okay? It's okay, everyone. If we work together, we can do this.
We can't give up.
Right, guys? If we work together, we can solve this case. So, come on, let's do this for Wolfgang. Although her words elicited nods from other students, the expressions on their faces told a different story. It was an expression I couldn't help but feel conflicted over, in a moment where I shouldn't have been focusing on my feelings, an expression of unmistakable fear. Alright! For days now, I've been angry over the mock trial. Angry at how much people resented me for telling the truth, how twisted my words and assumed my intentions. I'm angry, but that doesn't mean I wanted to be right. I would have been happy for reality to prove me wrong, for no one to buckle under the pressure of the killing game. But good endings like that only exist in stories. Reality was apathetic to what we wanted, and the events of today proved what we were at its mercy. So I stood there at my podium, conflicted. To think this tragedy could have been avoided had people just listened to me. But who was it that encouraged everyone to turn on me? Who was it that encouraged everyone to trust each other? It was Wolfgang. If Wolfgang hadn't been so naive, if he just told people to protect themselves rather than each other, then maybe he would still be here. Regardless, I can't let myself be consumed by the what-ifs. Although the others may have failed at preventing Wolfgang's murder, I, at the very least, can solve it. I'll uncover this killer and let them face the consequences of their actions. I'll solve this case and survive. In the next episode. See ya.